Hey everybody, it's Party Elite with another episode of Total Breakdown. With the series sitting at 2-1 in favor of Ondjage, this is a crucial match from the ESL Total War Warhammer Season 1 finals between Ondjage and Daman. If you haven't seen the previous battles, make sure to check the links in the description below, and if you'd like to sign up and compete for fortune, fame, and glory of your own in Season 2, check out the link below as well. This fourth game of the series pits Ondjage's Greenskins against Daman's Empire. The Greenskins come in with a Night Goblin War Boss in charge, a Night Goblin Shaman, a Goblin Big Boss, 2 units of Nasty Skulkers, 1 ranked up to rank 2, 1 ranked up to rank 1, 2 units of Orc Biggins, 3 units of Black Orcs, 2 units of Goblin Wolf Riders, 1 ranked up to rank 1, Durkit's Squigs, the Ragnarok Queen, and a unit of Rock Lobbers. The Empire comes in with the General of the Empire in charge alongside a Light Wizard, an Empire Captain, 3 units of Spearmen, 2 ranked up to rank 1, 1 ranked up to rank 2, 2 units of Flagellants, 3 units of Greatswords, 2 units of Handgunners, Stirland's Revenge, a unit of Empire Knights, and the Royal Altdorf Griffites. Alright, first things first, we're going to take a look at the layouts, and it's pretty simple from both sides of the field. The Greenskins here have the Black Orcs up front, providing a very strong front line, and then on either flank we have the Orc Biggins, able to dive in and cover the flanks just to get that extra sort of damage dealing in there, as well as their anti-large capabilities if necessary. Then we've got the Nasty Skulkers right back here on both sides, so they can bring their poison in when the time comes, and we've also got, of course, the Ragnarok Queen and the Leadership right in the middle here, buffing up and providing support wherever necessary. Durkit's Squigs right behind, as well as the Goblin Wolf Riders, able to sort of venture out wherever necessary to provide some shielding if anything comes in, or, of course, chomp away at enemy infantry. We also have the Rock Lobbers right up front, trying to maximize distance, open shots off right from the beginning, and that's exactly what you're going to see happening from the get-go. Now, the Empire also has a relatively simple layout, all things considered. We've got the Flagellants up front here, providing also a not strong front line, but one that will certainly not break. Then right behind them, we have the 3 units of Greatswords, able to dive in wherever necessary and provide that anti-infantry and armor-piercing support. Then right behind them, we of course have the ranged units, the Handgunners, as well as Stirland's Revenge, able to fire in wherever necessary, and covering off the rear, the 3 units of Spearmen in case anything comes in from the rears or from the sides. They're able to go in and intercept. So very regular positioning there, and off to either flank. Way in the end, we've got the Royal Altdorf Griffites accompanied with the Empire Captain. And to the right flank, we have the Empire Knights as well, and up in the air, General of the Empire starting the battle off with a decent scout. That is a good idea against the Greenskins. You want to make sure they don't have, well, Nasty Skulkers, for example, or Night Goblin Archers, or anything that could sort of sneak up on you and start opening fire. So you want to check to make sure they're not stalking up on you and they're not sort of tucked away so they can open fire whenever the time comes. Now, the General of the Empire does come in, and very quickly you'll notice finds these Skulkers and probably assumes that there is a unit of Skulkers on this side as well, given the symmetry of this formation. And you'll notice in the meanwhile, the Rock Lobber is firing into either the Light Wizard or the Greatswords, doing a decent amount of damage. You'll see a good hit there. Now, a good target, I will have to say, picked by the Rock Lobber. This sort of central targeting happens when, or should happen when you've got your enemy in layers like this. So there's these, at the time, I guess there were 4 layers of infantry, and targeting the center means even if the Rock Lobber misses, something is likely to get hurt. Now, these long, thin lines help avoid those rocks, sort of 6 out of 10 times, let's say. Not actual math there, but the fact that the overall army is so densely packed, so to speak, means they are still likely to hit even when they miss. So good use of the Rock Lobber there, good targeting as well, getting some damage done to those Great Swords. A little bit of that damage spreads to the Stirland's Revenge as well. And in the meanwhile, you'll see that the Royal Altdorf Griffites are pushing forward, maybe preparing to get sort of a flanking maneuver, maybe just to get the Greenskins on the back foot to consider what's going on there. And you'll see the General has gone all the way up here, has seen the Nasty Skulkers, gone all the way around, and is now coming back out. So just making sure, again, that there's nothing sneaky or sketchy going on back there. Now, you'll notice some aggression from the Ragnarok Queen as well as Durkit's Squigs. They are charging down the field, and in fact, the Ragnarok Queen has no intent to engage. You'll see the first unit of Spider Hatchlings does pop out, so great move there. There's 1 unit of Spider Hatchlings, and in just a second, another unit of Spider Hatchlings, and the Ragnarok Queen is disengaging. Shots are being opened at the Queen and at Durkit's Squigs just to cause some early damage, but the Queen is done here. These 2 Spider Hatchlings are going to occupy all three, at least two, if not all three of these ranged units. Meanwhile, this net goes down just in time. Dirkit Squigs almost making it out, but they do get trapped in place by that net. So good timing there. Is that the ideal cast? At this point in time, yes, absolutely. Normally, you want to use the net to capture a bunch of units, but right now, if Dirkit Squigs got through, that would spell the end for all three of these infantry units, these ranged units, alongside these spider hatchlings. Now, on this side over here, you'll notice the Empire Knights, they were pushing forward, and they are now retreating, scared by the Goblin Big Boss, as well as the Wolf Riders, perhaps, or alternatively, trying to bait them apart from the rest of the army just to take care of them separately. And meanwhile, over here on the left flank, you'll notice the Royal Altdorf Griffites are going in to engage Dirkit Squigs, but then ultimately deciding not to. They decide to pull away, and I'm not entirely sure why. Perhaps the Spider Hatchlings seemed like the more important target there, but unfortunately that is certainly not the case, because now Dirkit Squigs are able to dive in, and you'll see that unit of handgunners almost instantly gives up. Meanwhile, back here you'll notice these Empire Knights are running back, and the Spearmen are coming in to intercept, so perhaps that was just a very well-crafted flanking maneuver, or baiting maneuver there, because you'll notice these Goblin Wolf Riders do get pinned down by the Spearmen. Meanwhile, over here we've got the Arachnarok Queen pushing up, the handgunners trying to get some shots off, and in the center, quite a bit of damage taking place here. You'll notice, of course, the Spider Hatchlings, because they are summoned, they slowly die away, but not before causing a significant amount of damage. You'll see, not only did they nearly destroy one unit of handgunners here and cause a significant amount of damage to two others, they prevented a lot of that ranged fire from coming through, and that's the big damage they did. They shut down these units very effectively, so great use of the Arachnarok Queen and the Spider Hatchlings there. Now, once again over here, you'll notice, as I mentioned, the Goblin Wolf Riders did get caught by these Spearmen, and now they're forced to retreat. They took a fair amount of morale damage and physical damage, so good job there. If that was the plan, to bait them in there, very well done, very well maneuvered. Meanwhile, over here, back on the left flank, as seen from the Empire, this net goes down, and that's a solid net. The entire left flank, again seen from the Empire's perspective, is now held in place, and it's all about the right flank. Unfortunately, that net has not been capitalized on. You'll notice the handgunners aren't opening fire, and really that Arachnarok Queen should have been the prime target right now. Shutting down that Queen is extremely important, because once that Queen gets in, these Flagellants don't stand a chance, these Greatswords do not stand a chance, the Spearmen are all the way back here, so now is the time to really gun down the Arachnarok Queen. Instead, you'll see the Black Orcs are being fired upon, and yes, they are a threatening unit as well, but really these Greenskins have come in with a lot of threatening units, so it's all about picking the worst of the lot. So you'll see here, the Black Orcs do dive into this engagement again, providing their strength and bulk to this this melee infantry engagement, and over here, the Arachnarok Queen stuck in place, but really nothing happening, not taking any damage, in fact, dealing out morale damage to units nearby. Plus, now we've got, of course, the Itchy Nuisance going down here, just making sure that the Greenskins are having a better time in their engagement, and on top of that, we, of course, have Sneaky Stabbing as well. So that extra melee attack, making sure that this engagement is taken care of very quickly. And I would like to point out that despite, everything going quite well, it could have gone a little bit better if that Sneaky Stabbing and the Itchy Nuisance had gone down just a little bit earlier when the engagements began. Now, it is possible that the timing was reserved until the net died out, just in case these guys could go in there and take advantage of those casts as well. But if that was not the case, it is a good idea to get those casts in as soon as the engagements begin, because that initial momentum can carry through for quite a while. But with that said, great caster, making sure that this, again, the right flank seen from the Empire is quickly devastated and taken care of, and meanwhile the left flank is falling apart. It is collapsing, and you will notice the Rock Lobber is still getting shots off here and there, not really doing any more work anymore. There is a risk of firing into your own lines, and you'll also notice these Orc Biggins, they have been sent around, and just to sort of do, well, a good flanking maneuver. Now, these Biggins could have been ordered in right now just to finish off these Spearmen and the Greatswords, or sent in to shut down the handgunners, but you'll see these Wolf Riders, they managed to get out and get behind, and now are diving in right into these handgunners alongside the Arachnarok Queen. Maybe a little bit of overkill there, but those handgunners are going to fall apart. They do not want to stay and fight anymore. Now, over here again, on this left side, you'll see that the Goblin Wolf Riders just messing around with these Spearmen. They have the speed, of course, so they're able to stay clear and don't have to worry about these Spearmen, and these Spearmen really wasted all the way out in the flank here. I wouldn't even call that the flank, all the way out in the outskirts there, chasing a unit they're never going to catch unless, of course, they dive in willingly. The Spearmen would have been much better sort of spent coming around and trying to take care of Dirkit Squigs, or even, if it's all about going the distance, even going in against the Rock Lobber just to cause some damage and shut that unit down. But with that said, you'll see now the left flank, again, for the Empire has collapsed. These guys are all on their way out, and so the Greenskins are able to fold in and get a decent surround on all of the Empire units. And you'll notice the General of the Empire trying to get in there and trying to provide some support. Another unit of Spider Hatchlings does come in to shut down the Stirland's Revenge. Now again, they weren't necessarily causing too much physical damage, but they shut down the missile fire, and then in from the rear come those Goblin Wolf Riders, completely destroying Stirland's Revenge's wish to fight. And you'll see the Flagellants are sort of holding their own in there, and they're just trying to, again, hold the line, but it's not really possible when there's only 45 of you left. These Great Swords as well falling apart to the sheer strength of the Black Orcs and Durkit Squigs here, going in to shut down the Empire Knights. Very sort of unfortunate use of the cavalry units from the Empire as well, because not really using them to screen and protect the main lines, allowing, for example, Durkit Squigs or the Goblin Wolf Riders to come in more often than not. And that's really some poor cavalry management from the Empire. Even here, you'll see the Royal Altdorf Griffites. They gave chase for a little while, scared these Wolf Riders off, but they should have just kept going and hit Durkit Squigs as well. But you'll see they kind of dive back in here, chasing after, I guess, the Arachnarok Spider, but now is not the time to go after the Spider. Yes, prime target if it was earlier on in the battle, but this is far too little, far too late. And a smoke bomb does go down, just a little bit too late. I guess it was to try and negate the effectiveness of the charge coming in from the Royal Altdorf Griffites, but it came in right after the charge hit. Good attempt. With that said, it is now helping keep the Spearmen and the Griffites in place, so, you know, it still has its uses, of course. Now, over here, we have another smoke bomb going down. Probably an attempt to keep the General of the Empire from taking off, but Foeseeker does help sort of negate that speed reduction. And overall, this sort of spells doom for the Empire. As you can see, a lot of these units are disparate and far apart. The Wolf Riders could have been sent in just to cap off some of these units and intercept their arrival, but at the end of the day, you can see it happening right now. A mass shatter. All that's left to fight are a couple of Flagellants, and they're not going to do much against the Greenskin Horde. So well fought, but ultimately the day is won by Ondjage as soon as that last Flagellant falls. There you have it. So great battle there, great set of battles, I have to say, and that is how Ondjage went on to win the first season of ESL Total War Warhammer, walking away with a glorious limited edition complete with a map, a gauntlet, and a chest to keep it all in. There were some very tense battles in that final best of 5, but ultimately, despite Daman's good start, it was 3 in a row for Ondjage. If you want to sign up for the next season, check out the link in the description below and test your medal against other generals for glory and a grand prize, because that's what being a great general is about. And as always, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more Total War content and keep submitting your battle replays. Said it many times, I think it's one of the best ways to learn, and it's great to highlight various levels of competitive play from the community. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.